Sadique. So very good evening to all. Most respected faculty of today's CP seminar, CA Mohammed Najab Sadique, Secretary of Kannur branch CA Shivaprasad sir, Vice Chairman CA PJ Raji, Treasurer CA Dinesh Kumar sir, Saju, illustrious other past chairman of Kannur branch, members of the profession, my dear student friends, past chairman Raji sir. Today we are extremely happy that this is our third consecutive seminar with our young brothers. And today the topic work with Excel is, I am sure, that extremely useful for all our professional colleagues, including our students, staff and everybody. The branch is also extremely happy that we are getting very good feedback and appreciation with the presence of our younger brother as faculties and their contribution to the branch as faculty and in other capacity. And I am taking this opportunity to welcome our young brother Najab to handle the topic work with Excel, and I am taking this opportunity to welcome Najab once again, and I am sure that there will be a magic with the Excel through our Najab, and we are eagerly expecting and expecting that magic through our Najab. I'm also taking this opportunity to welcome all the participants and the members of the profession to this virtual CP seminar of Kannur branch. And now I request the Vice Chairman Vijay Raji to formally introduce our faculty of today's session.
Respected Chairman C.A. Jayaprakash, Speaker for the day, and our own young member C.A. Mohammed Najab Sadique, Secretary Shivaprasad sir, illustrious past Chairman of Kannur branch, my managing committee members, fellow members in the profession, students and dear friends, a very good evening to all of you. It's my pleasure and privilege to introduce you our own young member, the faculty of the day, C.A. Mohammed Najab Sadique. He completed his schooling from St. Joseph's Higher Secondary School, Talasheri, and secondary education from Kadambur Higher Secondary School, Edakad. He qualified as a chartered accountant in November 2018 and presently working with Mr. Varma & Varma Chartered Accountants Kannur as Assistant Manager Audit since April 2019, and has been associated with Varma & Varma since 2014 right from his articleship training. He is holding COP for more than 1 year, and he was the treasurer of Kannur Sikasa for the year 2014-15 and joint secretary of Kannur Sikasa for the year 2015-16. He represented Sikasa Kannur for various inter-branch cultural fests. With these few words, let me proudly present before you the faculty of the day and our own young brother, C.A. Mohammed Najab Sadique. Thank you.
Thank you, Raji. And now over to Najab for his magic.
So today my topic is working with Excel. See, there's you can see that Frederick Nietzsche has told that the doer alone can do everything. Because see, this once before starting to the topic, I should have to say that firstly we have to have the capability or the this intuition to do more thing while coping of the change. See, this Corona has made us to do many things, including attending seminar through this web platform. So once, see, we have been doing our traditional way of doing auditing for so long, but we need to have to make our mind to adapt for the changes in order to cope with our life. So also, and rather than before starting our this session, I would like to have a win-win agreement between you and me. I want to be, I'm taking a topic which is more of a practical thing, which will take like so much of practice to many of the things which I'm going to say will be having which will be known by many of the people, even though some people will not be having so much information. So there will be so much of features and functions which I'm going to discuss, but you might not able to get it through on the first shot. So I'm going to share 3 files on the chat window. So in that, I'll be listing what are the features I'll be talking about, and some sample data which we can work out. So you can later on practice on that data, and you can use that short, because I just compile those features and shortcuts into an Excel sheet and put it over there. Also, I would also like to be this session to be interactive rather than going on explaining more theories and all. So these two which I want to make my effort more this thing. So before starting on this Excel, I would like to say that this era is now changing. These our way of doing work has been changed to remote doing, and for that we cannot able to only rely on the manual working sheet papers and everything. So we need to improve our computer skills. Even for elderly people, they have to shift on to these computers and all. So we need to know more about this Excel and all, so that we can do our audits very fast. So you can see that our old age uncles are now studying WhatsApp. Some people are saying we are old age, so that we cannot able to adapt this. It's not able to understandable to them. But you can see that many people are now using WhatsApp. It's like they didn't even use a phone in the earlier days, but now they are using WhatsApp and everything so fantastically. Even my 85-year-old uncle has studied his WhatsApp at the age of his 85 years. So see, if you can able to what our age people should be concerned more is like they may be asking so much of silly doubts, but see, they didn't grown up with these technologies. We are grown up with this technology, so we need to help with them to cope up this technology. Okay. So also, rather than going to this Excel, firstly I need to give you some tips so that we could be able to perform more while using this computer. First point is like you have to reduce using this mouse frequently. Because once you started using keyboards more frequently, you could able to improve lots of time. You could able to do multitasking, and also there is, as a matter of point, there's issue that repetitive syndrome. Once we move our hands again and again so much again and again, there is a health issue called repetitive syndrome for using this mouse for long. So better we have to see that there is so many of shortcuts and everything within the keyboards itself. So we have to firstly try to use a keyboard at the maximum possible instead of using this mouse. And also one more tip is that our age generation is now reducing this familiar is not being familiar with this touch typing. See, this earlier there were more of this certification course and all, which will able to type this keyboard, which are without looking this keyboard and all. So there are many software which is available and free, which could able to help us to do this touch typing. Of course, it will increase your speed. Also, it will give more validation while you go into your professional career. So I'll just move on to this Microsoft Office. Before moving that, I would like to say, because when JB sir has told me to take an topic like a session on this for the CP, I just consult my principal Prashant sir to ask whether which topic I need to take. So I just list out so much of Companies Act, GST and whatever, but he told me that you just take a topic which you are more interested, which you are more familiar with. So I just thought of taking Excel, because he knows this how much changes which we have made in our audit firm from these past 4 years. there's a drastic change in this our way of doing these audits, and it has improved a lot of doing, like it's more efficient right now. So this Microsoft Excel is actually is a simple, powerful family of softwares which is bundled together, which will create us to have more results, which is magic results. So this is this is over in the March 2019. Office 365 has 180 millions of users. This is only, we are talking about the legitimate users. Many are using cracked and all. See, these 180 millions people are using Office 365 only. So you can see that how much people are dependent on this Microsoft Office. And out of this Microsoft Office, which is actually developed by Bill Gates on 1988, so actually there is no substitute for that. So out of this, more which will be having more influence for our audit is actually Microsoft Excel. See, this Excel has been used by even an accounting clerk till the CFO or even a higher level, because it's actually a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet matlab is it's actually an electronic document which is arranged in columns and rows, which will working as a based on cell references. So it is actually more powerful, which we can able to believe that. Actually, what we have feature is not only which the Excel is capable of. There are many macro features, and also these Excel work with other softwares to make so much of data analytics. This thing. Also, so how this Excel is going to help our audits? Okay, so the first thing is maintaining working paper. So I'll just compare this our scenario with our this earlier scenario. See, once this corona has come, we have started to doing this remote audit. So there is a less possibility of sharing our work papers with our senior so that they can review. But once we have started using Excel, we could able to share our working papers. And also in my earlier stages, once where I was using work papers on these papers and all, see this once we want to and this help the use of previous work paper, we have to take the entire files and search it out. That's a tedious work to do. But now we have a format which is already done by earlier, and it is stored easily. So I could able to work on that, so that I could able to get more working papers, more efficient working paper. I'll show an example which we have here. See, so this is in case of this a fixed asset verification. See, we have been using this Excel so that we can able to plot it in a better way of documentation. By once we will taking an export data from a software. It's like this. See, this data can be easily able to samples could be easily taken. Then with the help of this Excel, we can able to have a proper documentation like this. See, this will be always will help our succeeding people to have a better control over the documentation. We could able to make a checklist on this. Based on this, how we want to verify, and see the available checklist is already here, and so that we could have a better documentation. Even a summary we could be able to do, and also we could able to show how much percentage we have been verified, everything in a single software. If you're going to do this in the manual, it will take so much of time, because and also these referring ready reference will not be available at all time. So this obviously the Excel will be helped to have a better documentation. And also these also help to us to have a more statistical way of taking samples. Earlier we used to take to 5 days in a month, because we are not able to have we are having a manual books and all. So we are taking 5 days in a month. That's not a correct way of doing a sampling, because there might a chance because there is a trend in which we take the sample, So this will be analyzed by our clients, and they will be doing manipulation based on that. But using the basis of this Excel, we could able to analyze the entire population and to do more statistical sampling. I'll talk about sampling in the later area, and also see the other use of this Excel in the audit is like we can perform various substantive tests, like recalculation of working. See, our way of doing audit is, as I told you earlier, the way of doing audit has changed a lot. Everything is data oriented, and it is processed by some information system, which is repeated in nature. So there is no meaning in checking entirely invoices and all to the sales and all, but if it is generated from the information system. So we need to firstly check what all where the data is processing correctly in the information system. So in that we can able to sample, we can test some basic data and perform some calculation test on that. Then we could able to ensure that compare the result with the result which is given by the software. Then we can be able to see whether the software is running well. Then we can rely upon the information system. So for that, we need to have an Excel, having a more data analytic capability in Excel, so that we could able to create a better opinion from our audit. So regarding the calculation and all, I will talk about later. This also I will show how we have done our. But see, this is regarding a reconciliation. See, we can able to plot an item which is coming monthly in a schedule so easily, which is having much trouble while using the manual documentation. We can able to see easily copy paste and everything figures and all. We could able to analyze every month how much this thing is coming, and also possible to have a more substantive testing based on that. And also regarding an income, which is see, early we were used to do income vouching based on some report which they have taken and printed. Rather than we can do our income verification, which could be done within 1 or 2 days. See how is easily it could be done, because once we will export all the income data to an Excel software, then we will export that income data from this their information system. Then we'll readily reconcile between them. Monthly wise reconciliation, it's easy to do based on this Excel. So that substantive test for verification of our income, which is recorded in the books, with the actual data which is generated from the information system, is very easily to be done. I'll talk about how this VLOOKUP and everything is done later. And also, of course, we can do various validation checks on the basic data they have given, like same account number has so 2 PAN number. While exporting a bank data, there is 2 PAN number for a individual person, or else same PAN number is having different customer number. That easily could be traced based on the Excel with various validation checks. And also, in case of an audit which we have done, we could able to sort of fraud that they have been issuing some application form for some registration. They were having some serial number, but see, once we have sorted that entire application form issues, which based on the filter option, we could able to see that many of the serial numbers in between them are missing. So when we inquire with them, they itself doesn't know, because when staff has sold that forms to other people and earned the money. So these all things we could able to easily identify using based on Excel software. Also, various analytical reviews can be done with the Excel. I'll show you one example. Obviously, many of the people might have been doing this one. See, this we could able to get the percentage of consumption, percentage of margin, sample, profit margin. See, these will able to see once we are going to conclude on our opinion. This thing will help us to get more basis for our opinion, because this is normally because this percentage is reduced because doing to this, and also various trend analysis and current year and last year analysis, everything could be done easily with the for using this Excel. And obviously we can remotely review workings by sharing to our seniors and all. And also there are many Google Sheet platform which is available free, and also many audit tools. Even our Varma has implemented Capilio, which could be able to control our audits and all. In that we could if we maintain this documentation, every workings in based in Excel or some MS Office files, we could able to share with them, and they could review at real-time basis. And also this audit planning is so much good based on this. See, audit plan could be done based on Word also, but with working hours, we could able to see this is a plan which we have made. And also, that's why I told earlier, these sheets working documentation have been able to referred by our coming people for their upcoming audits, so they could able to have a proper guideline even without a support of his senior and all. So this will be help them to have more control. No item will not be missed for the verification. So that's what I'm saying. I'll know how this thing will change. It will be having more trouble for shifting our manual way of documenting or manual way of doing working papers to this Excel, but that will surely have a result in you. It will save more time and of course your cost. So you could able to bring up with more such beautiful of program and plans with how much man hours which you can allot and all. Okay. So I'll transfer to switch this theory thing to more of a practical way of doing. So I have shared this sheet with you. Does anybody got this in the chat, or should I resend it? Because I think once people come after this ending this sharing the sheet, they might not get. Is everybody having the sheet? JB sir?
Yes, Najab. കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ടോ? എന്താ ചോദിച്ചു?
I have shared this sheet in the chat box.
Chat box. Yeah, now it's okay. Chat box illallo.
I shared it. Yeah, okay, I'll share it again.
Najab, it is there in the chat box, but once again you can share it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Najab.
So that's Kannur branch.
വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്.
And okay. So this is the sheet which I have made for our control on this session. So this is actually some menus which you people have been familiar with. So try to use a keyboard at the best possible way. As I say, to create a new workbook, you can press Ctrl N as it is. And also for the movement purpose, so I'll give you this sample one sheet. Obviously, move with your arrows to move between the cells. And if you need to go more fastly, press page up and page down. And if you want to move more right and left, you have to press Alt and page up, page down. Okay. Then one thing which you need to be have in your mind, like using the control while moving. See this using control while moving, which you have to move more fastly. See, if you press control while moving, you will move to the last cell which you having data. You have to bear in mind, because this will be helpful not only in Excel, which also able to help in our words and all, word and all. You don't need to move individually and everything. You could able to shift easily between the last cell which is having data. So that should be bear in mind always. And also, if you were in the last row somewhere, you need to go to the home. You could able to press home button so that you could straightly go to home. And also, for if you press end button, you will straightly go to the last data which is available in the data set. And I'm going to talk about how to move in between this cell. Now I talked about how to move between cells. Once you press F2, you will be putting in an option which is in edit mode. So you can see in the bottom line, it is shown as edit. Okay. So if you press F2, it will be in an edit mode. If you press that F2 again, there is an enter mode. See how I'll show you why this is important. If you want to put as equation, now it is showing as point mode. If you press this F2 again, also if you press arrow keys, it will move in between inside the cell. You will move in between. Or else, if you do this arrow mark, this will move between the cells. And if you press F2 again, it will now change to edit mode in the below. Here it is. See that. So once you're going to create some big formulas and all, like including many of sum if and every or if equations, you need to have this feature in mind. If you press F2 again, it will change this enter and edit mode. In the edit mode, you could able to move in between the cell. If you press enter mode, if you press any arrow keys, obviously it moves to another cells. And once you click F2, you can move in between. As talked earlier, you will be using the arrow keys. And if you press F2, control and move arrow keys, you could move fastly between the last cell, the data which is not blank. So we can move easily. If you press control and move, it will move fastly. Should I have to zoom it? And also, at the earlier stage, I also would like to say that at the time when I
hello, Najib, 1 minute. Control and move go to the end, right?
No. To this, if you press end only, it will go to the end. Control and move just last word or something, which is not a blank.
It's not going. Control and move, right?
Yeah. Control and arrow keys. We'll see this after normal. My cursor is going to movement inside.
Control and arrow key, right? Right arrow key. Right arrow key.
Right or left?
Left. Okay, but it is in my case. It is going next in this column.
You are using this inside the cell only, right?
Yeah,
you have to.
Okay, just maybe function key is there in required, not required, right?
No, there is no function key request. Yeah, I think you're pressing control only, right?
Okay, control and arrow. Okay. Okay, fine. I'll try.
Oh, okay. So that's why I'm sharing this thing, and also some data is there. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can talk with the later.
Okay, fine. I'll do it.
So see, before continuing this one, I also like to say that once I started my article chief, I was appointed to an audit where Sadique sir has been doing his work in Excel. So that was a time which I started using Excel because I didn't know everything. But he was doing so much of shortcuts and everything, which made me to look so wow, because I could able to see what were things which we are doing. So, but slowly I just done my article chief. I just able to understand, like, while doing this practice, we could able to be to do more fast things. even if you seen some people is doing very well in the Excel, you can also do like that once you have made practice. So try to explore more. Try to that's why I started. That was told you in the starting itself. Try to do something which if you want to do something. Try to be changed. Try to explore more. See, this Excel is having so much of these functions here. So you could able to see click everything and see where, and also you could be able to ask with Google and see what all things they actually does, and also you can learn something new. Okay, I'm going to back to my topic. So also this another thing which is some people is not having knowledge in regard to Excel is that how to move it to the second line within a cell. See, I have here I actually wrapped the test, or else this sheet will be like this. So I need to inside this cell I need to have a second line of item. What you have to do is you have to press Alt Enter. Then it is if you press Enter, it actually will move to the cell next cell. If you press Alt Enter, obviously this will go to the second line. You can write anything over there. And if you want to show this item in 2 lines, it's actually single line, but we need to wrap it one. So you could press this wrap test so that it will show on the second line. It's actually not the second line, it's a single line. But if you press Alt Enter, you could able to type it in second line. There's actually line breaks. And as I said earlier, if you press F2, if you press home to the first, if you press end, we could move to the right one. And also see this, once we have been starting this press F2, you could able to, if you press arrow, it will move only to the between the words. But if you press tab, you could able to go right. And if you press shift tab, you could able to move left. And if you press enter, you will able to do enter. These things are actually, see, this may be some people, many of the people may be having knowledge on that. But if some people is not having knowledge, you could see simply like why this required, because we could able to do directly somewhere pressing click, mouse click and all. But it will surely have an impact if you follow these all shortcuts and all, which is given here, which surely have a change in your way of doing things. So if you're in the F2 mode, if edit mode, if you press enter, you will go down, and if you press shift enter, you will go up. And see, also these are actually the Excel is categorized based on the work. Normally a workbook will be taken once we create a new Excel. In that we can create more worksheets like this. Okay, so if you need to switch between worksheet, obviously we can press mouse click, but also there is some other shortcut which is like control page up, page down. Okay, we could easily move between the sheets, control page up, page down. Please try to practice with like using the shortcuts so that you could able to have more impact. And also obviously switch between worksheet Alt tab, or else you could able to see Alt W. And another powerful feature in this Excel is that anything which is given in the menu, you could able to do it with the your keyboard. How you can do this when you press Alt and master shortcut list will come. There is F, H, N, J, and if you press M, it will show what are the menus which is there in this in that formula bar. And also if you press K, this error checking and all. So there is many features which like we will usually if you want to merge between these two items, we will go like this and to press enter this merge center. Instead we could able to see Alt HMC, simple as it is, Alt HMC. See, so you could able to see that what is the letter which is assigned before the menu. Alt when you press Alt, this formula is giving M. Oh, sorry, you know, take home in that for the merge curve. H will, then we will see what is the option for merge. M. C for merge center, like that. So everything you could able to plot it in a keyboard shortcut which is available in the menu. And also there are some items here. I have assigned some of the menus here because these are items which is having so much of just having menus which we have to press so much of letter. Instead, I could able to press Alt and 1 to have that menu. I'll show you 1 minute. See, this is something when you press this Alt HK, this will show decimal, but we don't need to have this 00. So I need to go, instead of going here reduce decimal, I just assigned it here so that I can press Alt 1 easily, so that entire decimal is gone. I'll show you how to assign that one. Go to the customize accessible, then have more commands. In that, take all commands. Here you will having so much of all menus which will be there. Then take which command which you want to require, then add it to here. Then these menus will be available at your ribbon, so that you can press Alt and your respective numbers to get that menu from here, which we frequently use. If you are using merge frequently, you don't have to press Alt HMC again. You have to press Alt 1 or something. So you can assign over there, which is your frequent menus which you're using frequently. And Alt space also in the future in Windows is that if an item which is having an underline between in the below line in a word or in a character, if you press that one, it will able to do that function. See, when I press Alt X, it is showing N in under the minimizing. Okay, so if you press N, it actually will minimize. So it will be there in everything. See, also if you see, if you press a right click here, it is showing in the below E there is an underline. If you press E, obviously it will go to that menu. So see, if anything is having an underline, a single character is having underline, if you press that letter, your menu will go over there. So many shortcuts are assigned in such a way that you could able to perform with base of keyboards. And now I'll move to how to select everything, select some data. Obviously, with the base of shift, you could able to select. If you press shift and move, you could able to select. You don't have to move like this with the mouse clicking everything. You don't have to move like this. You press shift and move your keys, then it will have a selection. And if you want to select an entire row, this is actually the thing which have been which I told earlier. He was selecting entire column like this very fast. I didn't know how I was doing earlier. It's simple as shift and space. This every shortcut is given over here. So if it's press shift and space, it will select entire row. If you press control space, it will select entire row. These things are more important with working with many data. As I told you, our audits and our clients have been moving more on data information oriented and having more computerized information system. So they'll be having so much of data which we will able to analyze and everything. So if we have more of capability, more knowledge on these all, we will be able to easily able to analyze them. We will be able to have a more audit results. So entire column, and also and if you press Control and Shift together, obviously I'll take this sample. See this, I need to select these all. If I press Shift and down, it will simply move like this. Okay, if you press Control and Shift, see it is easily moving to the last cell. That's what I'm telling. If you're working with the large data, you would should able to know using Control together. If you press Control and everything, easily this from the 6673 row, it's easily on a single click, it's moving to 23rd column. So if you press Control and Shift together, that cell will fastly move. And also with the help of this shift and everything, you could able to, if you want to select this entire sheet, either you press Control A. If you press 2 times Control A, it will entirely select everything. Once you select one single Control A, it will select the data which is in together, or else what you have to do is, if you press Control Shift and End, it will go to the last from the beginning itself to go to the last end, where you will have an entire selection. This whole thing which is given over here. Okay, this another thing which we're talking about is like you need to move this row to this 20th in between this one. Usually what we does is we will have a new row over here, then we will cut this one and we will paste over here, then we will remove this one. So instead of that, there is easily shortcut that firstly you select that entire row, shift space, then you cut it over, then if you press Control Shift plus, it will automatically swap up the we don't need to have insert a row and delete a row. That thing is saved over there, the time is saved. Or else if you select this one, then using this shift and mouse key, you just click over here, then move it over here, then it will readily swap between these cells. If you want to, if you don't want to have a repetitive process, you can do like this. It's for swapping the cell. Okay, and also if you want to select all this sheet together, see why we have to do this, like if you want to take a printout of the entire sheets, you could able to select these all and do a print set directly, then you will take entire these things together. So for that you need to take, so for moving between the sheets, you will having Control Page up, Page down. So click Shift in between, then you will have to have a selection between the sheets. And obviously this linking, this is a basic and powerful thing which we'll be using this Excel is like equal to linking something, because this is having huge impact in our audit. Because see, once we able to show how this item, a figure is arrived in based on this formula, if there is a person who create that sheet is not available, the other person would be able to identify how these values is derived. I'll show you how one of the financials. See this, we could able to see, we have many of the people will having having knowledge on this, but just saying for the sake of this doing this Excel. So if you put I've given equal to and links to the sum cell. The first foremost thing in the Excel is that the Excel is based on the reference. It's actually based on the cell number reference. There is actually absolute reference and relative reference. I'll talk about later. So it's work on the base of references. So if you put equal to and something, you could able to see how the share capital is coming, from which schedule is coming. So it's coming from this schedule as it is. So if you put this, rather than punching the figures into this Excel sheet, always try to put a link on that, so that it will automatically get updated, and also the other people will able to know. Even for our audit firms, it's having a much useful for that. For us, if you put some link equal to link over there, so we get able to identify from where these all are coming. It's a basic but much more powerful one, equal to. And also we need to see that from where this, see if you put equal to link this one, it will automatically select this thing. This will show the value which is there in the F. Hello. Okay, fine. But if you want to know where this item is coming, you should press Control and bracket open. It will go to the place where this value is coming. There will be a reference over here, Shift D1 D2. Either you could able to copy this one and press F5, go paste this one. This will go to here. F5 is the place where we could be able to put a references over here, or else you put it over here. This is the name cell reference now. This thing here, every cell is given a name. D row having 134th, of D column is with 134th. So every cell is given a number over here. The reference will be given. So if you want to go over to the references, press Control and bracket open. Okay, and as I said earlier, if you want to have any, also if you want to move back, you have gone over here. Okay, if you want to move back, just press F5 and press enter. It will go move back to the last cell which we have been searching. This is very beneficial because once we are going to see whether the linking everything is usually when for the big companies and all, they will prepare the financials. So we need to see whether links and everything is correct. So we need to press control bracket open to see whether links are correct. Then we could press F5 and go back to the place where we've been looking earlier. And also another thing, another powerful thing in the Excel is that if you want to readily analyze this, how much is the this first 5 items ka sum, obviously you can select this one and see over here how much is the sum for these 4 items. Okay, this is simple. If you press mouse also you could do that, but try to use your keyboard. 1 minute. Okay, but there is some other thing also that you want to see how much the sum for this Chennai and also how much the for first Hyderabad. For that you have to do is you select what the selection, then press shift F8, then you move over here, then you could able to easily select the other which is not consecutively arranged. You press shift F8, then you move yourself, then you could see that how much is the sum between them, how much is the count between these, and how much is the average between them. So it's readily available with your Excel rather than which we are doing based on the manual or something which you have to use calculator and everything. It's easily available without having a results everything pasted over there. We just can analyze so easily from the Excel itself. So press shift F8, then move between other cells. Okay, then regarding the inserting and all, obviously if you select here insert, there is an option. Rather than that, we could able to press shift to select the entire column. If you press control shift plus, then it will insert. Then if you press control shift minus, then it will delete out those things. These all are given over here. Okay, another good feature in Excel is that fill series. Once we are doing something in Excel, we are writing this one, but we need to give the serial number. Either what we'll do is like 1 plus, you'll put 1 plus 1, then we'll copy this one. It's easy to take that. Rather than that, what we'll do is like select these all. Here it is the option fill series. Then okay, if you have most data, the shortcut is Alt HFIS. As I told that Alt, 1 minute. You could able to put the serial number easily. Alt HFIS. You will go to that menu. Then if you press OK, easily you could able to put serial number. And also see if you're having a Monday, you need to put a date, Monday or day or somewhere in here. If you select this one and if you select the fill series, autofill, it will fastly give your days. And if you want to have the month every day, like in each column, in each cells, fill series, select the month, and step value matlab every month, or if you want to have an alternative to second month, or if you want consecutively month, press OK. It's easily as it is. Fill series. Fill series is also having okay, also here another thing is like if you want to see if you want multiplying this into this one, okay, rather we will copy like this, or else another thing is like if you press control down AD, it will directly paste all thing which is there in the first cell. You don't have to press control C and control V everything, just have to select everything and just press control D. There's 2 steps is reduced over there. Press control D. It will copy what all thing which is there in the earlier cell, then 2. Also like that, if you press control R, it will copy these left items to here. Okay, here the sum is like that. So see, another thing which we'll talk like it, references. Okay, so if you press Control R, and also another thing is that if you are I'm going to multiply equal to multiply this cell into this cell. Okay, this will give this result. And also if you are going to select, I need to have this equation in the entire cell. So equal to, then you put a formula over here, and after that if you press Control Enter, this will, if you press Control and Enter, which is, you will, that entire function will be given automatically done to the entire selection if you press Control and Enter. See how it's done. While before typing the formula, I just select this entire formula, entire area, then I press this thing into this thing, then you press Control Enter. This is entirely gone into the entire selection. Okay, and also these are, while reviewing something, we are reviewing this financial, so we need to have a clarification on this one. So we could able to put a comment over here. Either you press Shift F2, or else you just put right click or put it a comment over here. Then you could see that please give back workings over here. It will be over there, but it will not be there in the printed format, but it will be there in the soft copy. So we could able to have a review on that. Also, you could able to delete this note commenting. This commenting is actually it's become more powerful in the Word right now. While we are reviewing some reports and all, and also tracing and everything is become more powerful in Windows 365 or Office 365 in the Word. And also for, if you want to hide something which in between them, you could be able to press Control 9 to hide the row. And if you want to hide this column, see, once we are merged, always try to do your data analysis before merging. Once it is merged, if you press some row or something, it will select entire thing. Rather than like this, if you press entire row, so before having formatting and everything, just try to do all your data analysis and everything. Then only you do merging. So if you press this thing and you press Control 0, it will hide this entire column. And another important feature is Control space special. We need to have this. If you copy this one and paste it over here, it will. Okay, I'll go to this referencing thing. See, the Excel is working on the cell references. There is two types of references: absolute references and relative references. See, this F11 is given a reference to the D56. So if you copy this thing to here, it will, these references go to the data to G56. See, it will go over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 G. So from the D it is gone to the G as a references. So normally the Excel will be working on relative references. Once you copy this some formula something to somewhere, it will already automatically move the values from one references to respective number of rows right, or columns below, or columns above, rows left. Okay, but if you put this formula in a absolute references, what you have to do is like you have to press F4. F4, you will have a dollar signature over here. So if you copy this formula to somewhere, this will not change. This D is the column number, column name, 56 is the 56 row. So that will be same. If you press F4 only, D is given relative references and 56 row number is given 56. How it is work, like I will show you one thing. If you press F4, even if you copy something and paste over here, see this formula doesn't change. Earlier when you copy paste this here, earlier it was relative references, so the value changes. How it will be useful is like when we want to multiply this figure into, we need to give a discount on this one. We are giving is 10% discount over here. So we will be given this into this. It will show you 18%. But if you copy paste and everything, this entire thing formula is coming down because it's given relative references. once you copy this, we are given the command into Excel that just also move your values below. But if you select this one and change this cell reference to absolute references by putting dollar or something, then see, we may be absolute, and if you copy paste this one, that reference will not be changed. Okay. Also, if you are moving, and also there is another, if you have more sales, they will give you 12%. Okay, per se. If you move this thing to here, see the, okay, 1 minute. Also this cell number also is changed, but we not have to change this one. So I'll put it over here. And if this, nothing has changed for this equation, but we need to change, once we copy to right, we need to change this column heading. So what we have to do is like, we need to make absolute only for the row number. So if we change this one to here, the row number will change. Because I here, see if you have this type of references, we could be able to load it entirely on this. We have a discount amount, because what we'll be having practical based to our audit is like, if they were given some discount on that, we want to recalculate. As I told you, it is able to do a substantive test, so we could be able to do recalculation like this easily using this cell references and see, compare with the discount which they are given. Select this one. Okay, series function. I talked about the autofill and series already, and also if you want to have a new sheet, you could press new sheet, this one. Rather than that, as I told you, you will need to switch to keyboard, shift F11. This will able to get new sheet, auto sheet which you get. And if you want to delete the sheet, Alt EL. See this, there is a function over here is also, but before this 2013, there are also some other menus assigned in different order. So if you press Alt EL, it will go to that shortcut access. Alt EL is a shortcut is given. One minute, someone has to test. Can you send this? Do you want to? Anaka has asked me to send this Excel sheet. So can I share here, or should I mail you something? So I'll just share it again. I'm sharing it again. Okay, fine. Okay, so also if you want to rename this some sheet over here, you could either press double click over single click, it will able to rename. Rather than that, we could have Alt OHR. Then directly see, this is how we need to, if we are working over here, we need to rename the sheet. We have to take the mouse and over click over here. Rather than that, if you press Alt OHR, that directly go to the rename sheet. So it's obviously you have to start doing this. You don't have to do entire shortcuts all together, but try to learn from individually. And if you want to move this sheet, many of the data which I have taken for samples have been moved from sheet. So it's easy. If you want to move to the another sheet, Alt EM, then it will show right what is having here. Right click, move or copy. Alt EM. Then see the create is having a in the create there is C underline over C. So you press Alt C. As I told earlier, that will have a, it will take the option if you press the letter. But press Alt also. Then press tab to move in between the feature. Then press this thing Alt new book. Easily this is moved to the another sheet. If you want to have a data to be moved to other, Alt EM to will take this menu, press Alt C, Shift tab will move to the, rather than moving between the entire cycle, just press Shift tab. I'll show you again. Alt EM, Shift F tab, Shift tab, then move here. New book. this thing is move over here. One minute. Okay, then we are going to fill down, everything is completed. New sheet, rename sheet, copying is done, and hide sheet is like if you press this one, if you're going to share this as a financials as a final one, you could able to remove all these workings and everything. Just press over here, press hide, then this thing is unhided. Then if you press here somewhere, then if you take unhide, there is the sheet which is hidden over here. Press OK. Also, I've seen in many people who've been using their this is out of this Excel topic. They're using this millions in their computer. This how this happen is like you have to change your regional settings in your computer first. First, you have to select control panel from here. Then you will have a regional. Just press region over here. Then additional settings. I hope this video is recording so you can able to refer later. If you are not copying up with this, what I'm telling, if people are listening, okay. So here you could able to select digit grouping. Normally, our Windows will be having a default settings. If you're selected your region and language as English India, normally it will group under lakhs. Or else earlier Windows 7 and all, there is no region India and so it will be showing the millions. So you have to go to this here and select these millions. And also for currency, you could able to, if you want to show negative here, you could also see everything. Put it over here. This will help you to have Excel to be shown in the lakhs. While taking printout, we not know what to see. If you're giving to an international people, like outside people, obviously you have to show on the millions and all. But if you're going for a local, to have it in your purpose of India only, better you have it in lakhs symbol. And you get from the options, you could have to select the grouping is based on the default. And also for some laptop which is having dedicated hardware graphics, there may be some overheating because of some dedicated graphics which is available. So for that case, they will be reduce their usage by based from going options. In that, going to advances. Here there will be having a feature that disable hardware graphic acceleration. If you click over there, there will your laptop won't having more. Sometimes you may be in some gaming laptops, if you're using Excel, you could able to hear some fans running more fastly if that thing is not unticked. Some out of topic, like it's a general point view. So where were we talking about earlier? Oh, so regarding the hide and unhide. So in that case, we could able to hide this sheet, but it's actually there in this entire workbook. It will be there in the entire workbook, but we are not showing it to the other people directly. You press unhide, you could able to directly unhide it again. And obviously, other formatting techniques which I have told earlier is merge between this one. We need to have this in a single column. See, this is merged together. This there in the here the menu is over here, but you could easily have alt and C. And also, as I talked earlier, you need to have the sheet in a 2 lines. Because if you're going to take this printout, this will show like this. So you need to have a merge wrap test. So it will wrap like this. And also, if you are going to see some notes, I'll show you some notes. See, if you're going to write some notes over here, you should better have it justify. Press right click. There is a format cells over here. There is menu over here. So or else you press Control+1. It will directly go to the format. In that, press justify over here. If you press General C, it will not be having. It should not be looking good in the while taking printout. So you need to have a justify over here. Here we go to alignment. Press justify. Okay, that's done. the entire wording is spread over the cell. These are small things which we'll be having, like we should have to know that, because these menus are there in the Excels for us only, because we paid for that. And obviously for the making this bold, Control B, italic, Control I, Control U for underlining, and for increasing Alt F-G, or else you could able to, if you are regularly using this increasing, if you can plot it over here for bigger shortcuts. And another thing which, as I shown earlier, like if you're going to have a well-manned documentation over here, what you can do is like, see, these are the data which is available over here. So we will be getting an invoice, then we will checking some of the test checks. Okay, so we will be checking some of the substantive test checks. See whether invoice was obtained, whether details are correct. What we can do to put tick over here is like take the font as Marlet. Then here, this is a data. When we barely look into the cell, it is sound thick. But what the actual data is given is here. See, this is a formula over here. So if you press A, it will show small letter A. Will put tick mark. You press cross. This means R. Then it means it's not available or something. So we could able to vouch or something, or which is able to have a proper documentation based on this. This is a simple technique which could be able to, which we can use for our audit purpose. See, take Marlet as font, M-A-R-L-E-T as font, then press A or R to check. Then you can able to complete our documentation. Once our people are going to some other, our juniors are going, we could give all these formats and all. You need to check this one and put a number for this one and have a column here. Then they can easily complete without having missing anything. And so for coloring, we could. So another thing in Excel is like, once we press a menu, if you press F4 again, it will repeat that menu. See, if we have merged this one, then if you press F4 over here, it will repeat that function. F4 is a good thing. So if you are going to color something, rather than put a tick over here, because some data we will having a space to put tick. So we just need to temporarily color it for cross checking with something. So we can select some color over here, select over here, then press F4, then coloring it again. I'm using another Excel adding. See, as I told earlier, this Excel is working on C++ language. The Excel is also having macro, which is based on virtual basics. So in virtual basics, we can have an unlimited possibility of doing something, data analysis. So one of the things which we actually having is one Excel shortcut adding. So I have taken this, install this one. So once I press Control Shift S, I can have this coloring at any time. And if Control Shift A, I could able to mark like this one. For our audit purpose, we know, because we obviously like usually review things from other sheets. So we need to have to color something to see that whether that thing is available in some other data. So coloring thing need to be given. So some add-in is there, Excel Canvas ka. If someone need to on that, just test me. I will share the link. Okay, then for repeating last thing, and aligning. These we need to align. These are the aligning features. If you press Alt H A L, Alt H A C, you will center, L R, middle, everything. Increase descendant. See, if you're going to put a journal entry. Cash to bank. See this. If you increase the indent, it should look like more. The two should be there. So if you could be able to use this indent over here. The indent is actually more this Alt H6, and rather than I'm using this regularly, so I brought it over here. Alt 4. increasing intent is doing that. It will. So many people are aligning by pressing space and all. It's like it's taking so much time. And also, if you want to remove that space, we need to go over here and select and everything. Delete. Instead, use this intent. It will move your word to right rather than having a. See, there is nothing over here. This just move over here. If you press intent, it move like that. So use that. And if you want to change this percentage, this is given in percent. If you want to change this, you can press here, or else if you press Control Shift percentage, Control Shift percentage, it will directly change the percentage format. Comma for the comma style. Normally it will give you like that. If you get HK, it will put in the comma style number format. Then as I told you earlier, you could reduce decimal from here, or else I plotted over here. This thing will help me to reduce decimals. And in the format cell, there is many other features. You want to put it in a box. If you press Control Shift and it will draw an entire border. And see, or else what we'll do is like we will go here, select this one, right click, and format cell border. We'll draw something like this. Rather than that, first you just put a Control Shift and then here to move in between shift is once we want to move between sheet is Control Shift page up, page down, right? Like that shortcut we can use over here to move within sheet. Then we will press Alt V, then it will draw the vertical line as it is. See, we could be able to draw very fast rather than taking the mouse and ever drawing something. Just draw outline border, then cell format, Alt V, or if you want to have horizontal or vertical, if you press Alt A, entire thing will Alt H B A. If you press here, there is an option to draw for table over here. HB here. So you could also press these if you want to Alt or only press the underline. It is bottom underline. Okay, Alt H B will give bottom underline very fast. All side border, left side border. Every shortcut is given here. Then starting formula is with Alt equal to. Many people are putting this sum function equal to sum everything. We don't have to do that. If you press Alt equal to, directly that sum formula will become Alt equal to. Here, if you press in this page, directly it is Alt equal to. If you press Alt equal to, the sum formula will come. You don't need to press Alt to sum. And also some other team is like if you are plotting a formula in a cell, say VLOOKUP, you don't have to write it entirely. Once it is shown, you press tab, that formula will come and also bracket up will come. If you are writing something, say count if, select this one, tab, directly that formula is taken and this bracket is open. Okay, so when typing again once more, VLOOKUP, tab, directly. You don't have to type entirely. Insert function, I'll just talk about later. And also cell references. This is cell references over here. We'll show you over here. And this is what they're talking about. And see, one people might have one of your junior might have done all the linking and everything of financials, and then this thing is not tallied. So what we'll do is like we will take the TB and see whether everything is given link for that to the financials, right? So we could see if something is given link to a thing, we could press Control down to see from where it is linked. But if we want to see whether the item is given link to somewhere, see like we are our entire financial is made based on this trial balance. Okay, so we need to see whether this item is given, this redeemable preference is given link over there. For that, we need to go to the trace dependence. Okay, all time D, trace dependence. So it will have an arrow here, then it will show where it is actually linked. I'll show you. This is linked to the schedule. Okay, so that this thing is correctly given link. Profit and loss opening balance is given correctly linked to here to check whether this item is tallying or not. Okay, so like that, why we can see that whether an item is given link correctly, trace dependent. Some people might having trouble getting some what is the difference between two. Watching is that if you given link to somewhere, we can go to over there by pressing control and bracket open. And if you want to see whether that item is given link somewhere, just use this trace dependent over here. And see, Alt MD is the shortcut for that. And if you want to, after checking everything, you can remove everything, remove arrows. And normal thing is like open file for open file, control O. These see this Excel is having so much of templates within us. It's having the even EMI calculators, personal budgets, everything is given in this Excel. Is templates is there in the Excel. You can say if you take new and search for the templates, there is abundant of templates available. Okay, and also for many of people are see if you press control, so normally it's save. If you press F12, it will directly go to this menu, and you could and from 2016 Microsoft Office 2016 onwards, we can directly save this Excel to a PDF or something. Many other formats are available. Some people are using a PDF converter to converting this Excel sheet into PDF, but it is readily available in the Excel sheet itself. If you press F2, then take save as tab as PDF. So once we have to set up the page setup correctly, oh, it's correct. Okay, then F12 PDF. Then just select. See, another thing which we can able to do it fast, like see, we need to save the something to this folder. Okay, then what you have to do is press Alt D. Then you just go to the path. Okay, then copy this one here, then press Alt D, paste over here. So the enter, put enter. That is simple as it is. You don't have to manually navigate over here and to see what to take the path. What you do is like if you're having a folder open in somewhere, press Alt D, then that that path is selected. Control C to copy it. Then come over here where we're going to save as. Okay. Then Alt D, then Control V to paste that one. Press enter. That folder is selected. Then here what you have to do is PDF, right? PDF, just select. See, once we have to file financial statements to for e-filing, we need to attach financial statements and audit report. So we can use this inbuilt feature in the Excel. Don't worry if you're having an office which is below than 2016. There is add-in available in the Microsoft site itself, which can be installed to directly save as a PDF. There is no costs and no additional costs. So see this. 1 minute. So see, this entirely saved into PDF directly. We don't need to have a convert to an Excel or something, to Excel to PDF or something. Directly it's available in Excel. Press F12 and do like that. Then save file. Okay. Then another is freeze pane. I need to see while I'm moving down, I need to see what is actually this column represents. This B column is what. So what you have to do is like 1 minute. See, there is a view over here. Then press freeze pane. If freeze top row, that top row will be constant over there, so that we can able to have a reference at everywhere. This function is this column represents function. This column represents purpose. Key shortcuts. And if you need to, if while moving right, see, I need to have this function at constant. For that, we need to freeze first column. So sorry, first column will freeze only this A column. So if you move right, also that first A column will be freezed. Or else you need to have a freeze over here, because this thing is only applicable to first items. Okay, so we need to have a freeze over here. Freeze pane. Select your cell over here. Okay, freeze pane. Then if you move, it will freeze what all there, which is over here and here. Okay, so if you select this one and freeze pane, okay, if you press this one, this will entirely freeze this portion and this portion. If you're moving somewhere, it will help us to have a better control on this inform. If you are reviewing something and if you need to some heading to be shown everywhere, you could use that. And for printing, many people, even for our qualified everything, like even if there is so much of trouble in while taking printout because the page setup is not correct. So for that you have to select, either you go over here or press Alt WI. We'll take page break preview, then take page setup. Okay, then what you have to do is like you I am page setup in the Alt 3. So okay, directly do not have to press right click and all. Also, some laptop is not having right click key in their keyboard. For them, they could use Shift F10 to have its right click keys to have the functions over here. Okay, Shift F10. See, once we take page setup, firstly try to select this one, fit to, and select, take maximum number 20. Then it will directly adjust with a perfect cell. First try this one, then you move. If you want to show the third page, then just move with it. So in that case, in that way, you can able to have a better printout. That's a simple tip. Okay, portrait or landscape, then try this one rather than going to adjust this one. Select fit to this number of pages. Take as much as this. They didn't and expand it to entire 20. It will take maximum space which is available within 20, which having correct figure. And also if you don't want to have this much of margin, you could able to have include more data by reducing this margin and all. If you're going to take final printout, have good margins. But if you're going to have you need to have a workings, or you need to have show some people, just reduce margin so that more data can be included. And this header and footer can be used to have if you want to print something in in the entire this thing, we need to, this is the page preview. Okay, I need to show entire this practice made perfect in entire sheet. Just select page setup, header and footer, custom header, sorry, sheet, and rows to repeat. Select this row. Okay, then press OK. Then for entire these pages, this row will be repeated. This will be required if you're going to take a printout of a notes. If you want to show notes to accounts for the financial year 2020 for entire page, you can choose like that. I'll fast it. That's it. I didn't press control down. Okay, print preview. If you press control F2, you could have a print preview. If you need to, you can also 1 minute. If you press this one, you could directly able to adjust the margin from the print preview itself, rather than going to page setup. You could reduce and see this when we reduce margin, more data is included over there. You could press this one and increase the margins and all. Alt WL to have a normal layout. Alt WI to have a print preview. Okay. Then I'll move to these other functions area. Oh, for that, change formatting graphics. Also, some people is still having Calibri or something in the format, but they prefer some other format, so fonts. So they can change from file options. Here they can change the body font to some other and have a default format for entire new sheet coming. If you want to have a Palladino in every sheet, you could select that and have the Palladino font in the entire new sheets. Okay, default you can set it as a default font. And also, see, if you once I'm typing this equal to into sum, it will directly go to formula or something. If you put a comma over here and equal to sum, it will automatically convert it to a number test format. So it will not give a number or something. Also, if you want to give an account number in this cell 00123455, okay, but 00 will be removed and shown as a number. But we need to show 00 first. Then put tick this single inverted comma 00. Then this converted as test directly. You could the Excel will be showing an error because this thing is converted as test. But directly, if you press this, it will convert to numbers. But if you want it is to be stored in the test, put a single inverted comma, 2 zeros or something. Then this stored as test. Okay. Okay. Then comes the filter function. Okay. This is this for the filter function. We need to have a column heading. Even if the column is not, it's okay. So filter is something which is able to which we will be surely using for our entire audit purpose. So if you're going to select this one and filter is given in, if you press Ctrl Shift L, this will take the filter, and in that case we can able to sort something in the alphabetic order. See, I'll show you how we will be using this for our audit. See, I need to. This is a data sheet which I given from one mobile shop. Okay, I need to have. I need to take a sample from this, from the which is having the highest number. So I'll select this entire thing, data. Then I'll select this. I'll press Ctrl Shift L, or else you just select. 1 minute. Where is the sheet? Filter is available somewhere here. Actually, I forgot about where the menu is. Data filter. Here it is. This is given the data, or else you press Ctrl Shift L. Okay, Ctrl Shift L. The filter is on. Then you could select. Okay, another thing also is that in the entire Windows itself, if you press Alt down, the instant menu will pop up. If you press Alt down here, see, you can see that the entire in my entire this session, I rarely use my mouse. Okay, so everything there is a shortcut. So if you press Alt down, this menu will come. Okay, so everything is this for the filter. There is a in the below F there is a line. So if you press F, it will go over there. If you press E, then you can take the filter from here. Okay, Alt down E. When you press E, directly go over here. Or else if you press Alt down, and I need to sort to the largest to smallest to see which are the items which will be excuse me 1 minute. Sorry for that. So see this, once we sorted this, these are the major items which is having 2,50,000 rupees cost sale, Galaxy S20 Ultra. So we can able to take this one and see for the sampling. We can see that if you select this entire, first see the on plus Alt tab, it is showing 86,78,000. Sorry, 86 crore total sales, and out of this, these if you take these items are. Sorry. Okay, so if you select this all, it will covering almost 1 crore car. If you select this all, it will cover almost 1 crore car. Okay, So we can select this one and paste it over somewhere and do testing. See how we do our testing is like, we will export the raw data to a sheet first. Okay, we will export from Tally or some other software to as a lead sheet. Then we will copy this item based on some sampling technique. One sampling technique is this: we will put a filter, we will select highest value items, then we will select the items to see whether it is having highest coverage. Or else, if you're going for random sampling, I'll show you how you can do. Okay, have a column over here, put formula rand. Okay, then just bracket open, bracket close. It will have a random number over here. Okay, then just paste this at that data. See, what is the power of this function is that every time you push enter, this entire thing will number will change. There is no fixed algorithm for finding this number. So computer is randomly giving this number. So there is no our intervention here. So once you select this one, okay, then you put just copy paste these values. Okay, now this formula will not come. How the values are copied? That's what I'm discussed earlier. If you copy and if you put Control Alt V, it will show the paste value, paste special. Okay, in that select V values. This is how I've done. See, obviously I've done. See this as it is. So that is the entire formula is pasted as value. Okay, and also one thing which is missed to show that if you want to paste this one thing which is given in the row wise to column wise, just put transpose so that this item which is given column wise is shown as row wise over here. Okay, from the paste special, use transpose. Okay, somewhere there may be useful that. So coming to random sampling, here then you will select largest to smallest. Okay, then these all items are these 10 items which have been taken based on the random. There is no our judgment or something is involved over here. You can directly take it as random. So that's how we can do is like, firstly we will take we will sort this one to highest lowest, then we will take up to which amount it is covering maximum amount. Then for that we will take we will take a sampling like above 1 lakh, we will text under check. Okay, and below 1 lakh we have selected randomly 10 items like this. That's the perfect way of doing sampling. Okay, random sampling and filter is very much useful for your sampling purpose. So this is how filter does. And also for if you need to change some cases and everything, if you can have this function. If you want to change these cases to capital letter, press upper, then select over here. The entire thing is changed to this capital letter. As I told earlier, Control C and Control V, Control Alt V, paste values. It will directly paste as paste special. See, this paste special is given over here. Either rather than pressing Control Alt P and V, I will copy this one and I just press Alt 2. Directly paste special. This menu is given over here. So if you what all menus which you occasionally use, you can plot it in this ribbon. It will save your time. So for upper, this one also like for to make it lower case, press lower, and that thing is lower. If you want to have a proper, actually I've given it proper. If you want to have is proper, matlab, for entire first letter of a word should be given capital letter. Select proper and this. The entire first letter is given capital letter. Okay. And other and also if you want to, I'll show you sample also. You can work with the samples which are given over there. These menus, everything can be worked with them if you don't have any data around. Okay. I'll rather skip all this. Condition formatting. Oh, okay. The condition formatting is having another. First of all, I'll show you how this VLOOKUP function is performing. Okay. So see this in our financials. Okay. Here, what we'll do is like, this is the one-time exercise. We will take the entire ledgers and group it in like this. Okay. the tally is having a super function is that feature is that the ledger cannot have two different ledgers cannot have a single name. Okay, so each individual ledger is having unique name. So these are all the ledger names in tally. I have grouped under these. This is coming under liability, shareholders, share capital, liquidity. This is a non-interest finances. Okay, and I have grouped these tally ledgers here. Okay, this is how VLOOKUP function is working. See, if you have to plot equal to VLOOKUP, we need to look up this. What is actually VLOOKUP is that this function will search whether this item is available in this TB which have been exported on 25th August. In the here, if it is there, I need to take this value to over there. Okay, this is how. This is looking up a value for this item to another sheet. It is powerful function. This is a must-have function for every auditor to have a data analysis. It's a basic and powerful function. Okay, we look up and select this one. How the every formula is having a story to tell. See how this VLOOKUP is functioning. After VLOOKUP, we need to search this one in this entire data set. Okay, as I told earlier, if you're going to copy paste that formula down, this entire data set is going to go into down. So what we have to do is like we need to stabilize this formula. We need to make it absolute. Okay, press F4. Or else if you copy paste this formula down, the entire data set also will come down. Okay, so to avoid that, press F4. If you're going to put a link on another workbook, you would automatically put $ signature, or else you put F4 to make it absolute. Okay, so the story is like that. If you press VLOOKUP, this data to be look in this data set. Then if you find this the value for the reference also. One second, I'll do it. VLOOKUP. Check this item is there in this entire data set. Then you need to see what this number. Okay, we need to remember this number. Then if it is there, take the fourth column index. Fourth column index. Okay, fourth column index value. Then you put exact. It is the standard format. Exact 0. Put 0. Okay. Then see this equity share is having in the TB. Where is that? Take this one. This is not arranged in a proper way. Here it is arranged like that. So if this is having a negative 4,41,000 is value in there. If we look up. So what is make powerful is like, see, once we started auditing, we might prepare financial statements, but they will put in more entries and everything every time. So we need to update finances, but our work is as simple like we need to put it as formula like this. You need to export this TB like that, then put a formula. It will automatically get the data from the alternate tab into the grouping. I don't need to change the entire links and all. This entire thing is linked to this grouping sheet. Okay, this data need to be updated based on the latest tally. I use this VLOOKUP. What I use is if error is like, if for example, say this equity share is having some other words. Okay, so there will come in not applicable. This item is not covered. We cannot, the Excel cannot be identified in there. So it will show not applicable. But if the data is not there, I need to show if there is an error. If you put this formula, if error, then the formula comes. If error, then you have to show 0. That formula is given over here. So this item is not there. If the item is not there, then simply put 0. Why I would do it like that? We have given 2018 ka figure over here, 19 ka figure over here. Sometimes that entry, that balance will not be there in the current year. Okay, in that case, see there should not be a figure for the current year. So you can say that if there is an error, show 0. Okay. You know, some people may have trouble on identifying this one. You could able to see all these Excel sheet later and work on this later. Or else you can also Google, and also or else you can come to me or some computers. You know, obviously many of the people is knowing about this. And another thing is like conditional formatting, right? So for why I took VLOOKUP functions, like for the VLOOKUP, if an item we are searching this item in this data, right? So if in this data this item is having two items, say equity share is having the equity share is having two figures over here, okay? What will happen is that it will while selecting VLOOKUP, only one item will come. See, the first item will only come. So that will have a more trouble. So we need to see whether these in this item whether they need duplicate values. So for that, go to conditional formatting, highlight, see duplicate values. So see these rather than this, for select this one. This is the filter which I am selected. Okay, Control Shift L to take the filter, and this will have a sort. Okay, so we could directly select these rather than sorting, just select filter. Okay. Filter this thing. Okay, now show these items having two items, so it will results a wrong value for your groupings. So you can use conditional formatting for that. And also another thing is text columns. Many of the information system is providing some data like this. Usually some SAP or some reports in some SAP or some traditional information system will be having some information this like this. Okay, right? So what we have to do is like we can have a powerful feature in this Excel text columns. Select this one and okay, just copy paste. It's actually copy pasted to a single cell, but we can see that for entire data set there is a dash straight line how to separate them. So what we can do is like select this one, then take data text to columns, then press delimit. Here we choose we have to separate these based on this drawer. Okay, then push fish. See, the entire text is converted to columns. Then we can able to plot it to financials and everything. See, this is actually a word format which you paste it will be given copy paste in the single column. If you put it the text columns and select all that, or else if what you can do is like this is the see this is not in the entire, this is only in the first row only. Okay, if you select this one and if you have sometimes your this thing is given based on some location, particular number of character is how they separate data in the some information system reports. So you can also select based on this positioning. Okay, just put where you have to put all lines and all. Okay, this is how you need to separate things. Then select finish. Entire thing is plotted into entire columns and columns. This is the text to column does. And some in some cases we will be having this thing. I'll show you an example. Circular references. Okay, you might have shown some circular references error. How it is happening is like we have taken this thing into this thing is the formula. Okay, but to get this thing, 1 minute. This thing, the formula was like this into this thing. So there is a circular reference because actually this formula is based on this data, but this formula is again linked to this formula. This usually happens. So how we can trace that is like go to the data, sorry, formulas, error checking. JP sir, how much time do you have?
Najab, you can take 5 more minutes, Najab, because
5 more minutes only there.
yeah.
Okay, then okay, fine. Okay. Then we can have a circular references. Then show where this actually the error is there. Okay, see this is the error is happening. So what you have to do is like we have to remove that formula because it is having a loop in between, because the Excel is not giving a correct figure because the entire thing is correlated with each other. Okay, so we can trace that based on this error checking formula. Okay, and I'll also move fast. Okay, then other thing is pivot table. Okay, pivot table. Where's pivot table? How we can do the pivot table is that, see, this is we need to have a consolidation sheet. in many SAP on our individual account code will be there. So these are the ledgers which having given standard name for different units. Okay, this is Pioneer units, Taliban unit, but we need to combine together and put the financials together. What we'll have to do is like normally we will do is we will add all these, right? But rather than that, we can to implement for to put a pivot table, every column should be having heading. Okay, then take this one, then insert a pivot table, new worksheet, then just put what all the item need to have. See, this is how the entire thing is summarized. I'll show you. This entire thing is having 593 items. At a single click, we have a consolidated TB with 50 items. Then you can make a financials based on this. This is how pivot table function. This actually it's useful for if you want to have a ledger review. Okay, if you want to have a ledger review, then we can export this one and put it in the pivot table. Then you will give a summarized on what all the ledger items is having, more items, more entries in the ledgers and all. So also like this, we can have a summarized. And if you want to sort this one based on this, we could have a this more sort option, descending based on the sum of amounts. This thing is sorted based on this, because directly we cannot sort, because when you take sort function, it will show this here, but you want to sort based on this one, we can do that like that. And another thing is like we need to show unit to right. If you put a unit here, it will show under below only, but you need to plot it in the right click. I am only showing this auto some function which is normally normal people doesn't know. So what we have to do is like you want to show it as in a tabular formula, then it will go right, then remove subtotals. Okay, now see this thing is given, the Taliban bar salary is giving this much. Okay, another thing is like if you press double click the entire, so this is having so this items between gratuity. Okay, gratuity. Remove it. Okay, these depreciation, when you create the depreciation item, standard names I have to take. Okay, if we take advertisement fees, it will I think I had taken only the data of something. Insert standard name, values to be posted over here. Building taxes, bank interest. See, because the entire bank chances ka data is given in the table as it is. Okay, so the pivot table is must to be have known. And also, if you want to compare two items together, we could have this formula equal to this and this. Okay, and another find replace formula for VLOOKUPing, I told that this two items should be having same equal name. So some may be having spaces and all. So if you want to remove everything, just find and replace, then do nothing, type nothing over here, then type space over here, then write nothing over here, then replace all. The entire space is removed. You could also remove the space from the other data also, then do VLOOKUP so that you could have a common results. Okay, and other functions also given over here. I don't want to prolong. There is also another abundant of features with it. So also if you're going to see this menus are in the Excel is not like the menus which are available in Excel is not only which we have. So we are having abundant of micro features. See, our Varmax actually purchase some other macro add-in. I'll show you that what this actually does. 1 minute, com add-in. ECAT. One ECAT Pro add-in which we have purchased actually. See these. Using that add-in, we can do many of this technique. These extra features is available in this add-in. You can see that we can have alphabetic characters to be removed. we could directly make some major functions which are actually directly used is like sampling technique. Okay, we can have a Pareto analysis based on this. Okay, this data is selected, then I've taken Pareto analysis, then I want this sales data. Okay, analysis field is sales data, then primary field will be name, invoice number. 80%. I want to know how much items is covering high 80% of value of this. See, if you take these 26 items, this will constitute 80% of our population. Okay, so you can do this based on some formulas in the Excel itself, but try to have some add-ins like this so that we can have a more faster way of doing analysis and everything. See, this Pareto analysis, they are given very fast. If you based on the, you see 80%, if you select item, you can extract this one to another sheet. If we take this 26 item, these will cover it 80% of values. So there is other features also. So there is many micro add-ins like this for to have a more, and I'm going to wind up my this session because this will go along. There is many of features which I have to discuss with you. The first and foremost thing which I have to say is like try every functions which is available in the menu, and also try, it's like if you want to do something, just do it. You need to learn many things. And also there is Google to have you get, because many of the things which I have done is like which I have gained from the Google only. So try to do everything which will obviously will not only make to increase your speed, but also will able to have an internal field to have work more. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for waiting so patient. I was actually worried because the earlier two sessions was so amazed because, and also you people are putting so much of expectation on me. I don't know whether I could able to copy with them, but I tried my level best to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Najab. Absolutely, you have done a wonderful job, and just like in the previous two sessions, this was also amazing. And you have done a wonderful presentation on how to work with Excel. And the presentation showed that 2 hours is not sufficient to know all about Excel. That is the moral of the story. And I'm sure that this is a new experience and value addition for many of our participants, especially people like me who are always searching the mouse to do anything on Excel. Otherwise, we cannot do that. Now, today we got a very good experience. And I'm also concurring the views expressed by Najab that Excel is absolutely a great working paper. And I know that even in peer review and quality review, I see people are always asking for the Excel backup file to satisfy themselves that we have kept the working paper in the as per the standards. And moreover, becoming an expert in Excel is equally important, just like an expert in the act and the rules as far as our professional practice is concerned. And the expertise in Excel will definitely save our professional time, apart from the fact that it is a great working paper. My Najab, you have done a wonderful job, and you see 86 participants enjoyed your session through this platform. And I know that this is your first CP meeting as a faculty, and definitely Kannur branch is very happy for getting a new young faculty like you. And I am sure that more platforms are waiting to show your caliber as a faculty. And now we felt that this is your first meeting because you have enjoyed everything, and we have also enjoyed everything. And now I request my participants, if anything is to be clarified on Excel, please interact with Najab for this great opportunity. Please. If anything is, we will wind up the session within 2 or 3 minutes. Anything is to be clarified. Dinesh sir, an expert in technology.
I have pasted my email address and mobile number in the chat box. If you anyone want to clarify anything, you can please do it.
Definitely, Najab. I feel that the time is also 9 o'clock now, almost 9 o'clock. Now, if anything is to be there, without any you can approach Najab at any time. Very good friend of all the members of and students of Kannur branch. That 86 participants itself shows how he is friendly about Excel and all the students and members of the Kannur branch. Now I request the Secretary of Kannur branch, C.F. Prasad sir, to propose vote of thanks.
Presiding officer, Chairman of Kannur branch, Chartered Accountant Jayaprakash, promising speaker and brilliant Chartered Accountant Mohammed Najab, my dear. This is IPL season. Many of you may be fond of it. We have seen the capability, the talent of many unknown and new players. Kannur branch has started talent hunt. We are successful and we could find the hidden talents, especially in the youth. Consecutively, it is the third seminar we are having a newcomer as faculty. It pleases us to see that young chartered accountants are coming forward and are presenting the papers extremely well. They never disappointed us. We are confident that the others will also follow. Today's seminar, Work with Excel, is really an excellent one. See, Mohammed Najab made us proud, made Kannur branch proud with the Excel tool. Many of us may not be knowing the benefits we can have with the program Excel. He made it very clear that we can use this tool wisely in our day-to-day work of auditing. I still remember his active enthusiasm and involvement in the last residential program that we had at Sterling Resorts, Wayanad. Here also, he continued and has proven his capabilities and talents. We express our sincere gratitude to him. Thank you, CA Mohammed Najab. It is our wish that the good Almighty shower all the blessings to you, and let many more presentations come from you, and let many more hidden talents come from you. Thank you, Mohammed Najab. I express our sincere gratitude and thanks to the chairman of Kannur branch, Chartered Accountant Jayaprakash, for presiding over this seminar, for finding out the right persons for the right topic, for the motivation, and for the outstanding leadership. Thank you, Chairman. We are very much thankful to all the participants, members, for your support, motivation, and for your gracious presence in this seminar. Thank you. Take care. Be safe. Good night.
Thank you, Najab. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.